Hey Curlfriends, you know what time it is. It's time to energize and moisturize, where we energize and moisturize our hair while energizing our soul. Let's jump into today's quote. I got my little ceramic box here with all of my quotes in it. Open it up and get the next quote, which is right here. And it is a quote by Booker T. Washington. And it says that success is measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. That's a good one. That can definitely be applied to today. I'll read it one more time. Success is measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. Okay, let's just jump right into that one while I start my hair. As I always do, I'm going to segue just real quick. I'm not doing any, this is going to be a quick one today. I don't feel like really doing it, so I'm forcing myself. I'm just going to spritz with some water, and then I'm going to add another spritz with water, conditioner, and any oil. I think I put olive oil in this one. The bottle wasn't labeled, so I'm not sure what it was. So I'm not even going to use a comb or brush. I'm not putting my drape on because it's very hot. I'm just going to give it some moisture and then twist it right back up, and then I'll be done. So this hopefully will not be too long of a segment today. So let me just look at this one more time because I've been yapping and I forgot what it said already. So success is measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. So I think that one is definitely a great statement, because it's definitely true in a lot of cases. Just because someone looks successful doesn't mean that they are truly successful, because when you're truly successful, I believe that you have earned it. Or let me rephrase that. Success is determined by what it took you to succeed, what obstacles you had to overcome, what trials and tribulations that you had to succumb to or deal with in order to get to the level of success where you are. If you have, and determining what success is a whole nother issue, because just because you have a lot of things in life, most people look at success as what your material possessions are, how many material possessions you have in your possession. But the true measure, what I believe this quote by Booker T. Washington is saying, is the true measure of success is not looking at what you have, but looking at how you got it, how you got to the position to have such things. A lot of people have been given things. That doesn't make them successful just because somebody gave them a new car or even a business or, you know, a fancy house. Just because somebody gave you something and now you're maintaining it, that doesn't make you successful, because you didn't, well, according to this quote, your measure of success is not by what you have, but by how you got to the point of getting what you have. So if you can turn around and give your kids, well, let me see if I can find an example to try and support what I'm saying. I don't know if this is a true example, but I'll give you an idea of what I'm trying to express here, because I feel like I'm struggling a little. But if you look at like Paris Hilton or the Kardashians or any of these socialites who just by birth, they have been given this status of celebrity and lifestyle of the rich and famous, but they didn't do anything other than have successful parents or wealthy parents, because we don't even know if the parents really did anything to get to where they are. When people have inherited wonderful and great things, but they haven't done anything to, outside of just being born into a wealthy family, but yet they are living a wealthy lifestyle, to me that does not make them successful, because it was just given to them. So we should not measure their success by what they have, but we should measure it by what they've done to get there. So you could technically look at somebody who is very wealthy and has a lot and say that they're not successful, according to this quote, because they didn't do anything. They didn't have to deal with any obstacles in order to get there. I mean, it's easy to just say, okay, thank you, I'll take it, versus, you know, sacrificing and struggling and going through times where you were hungry or homeless or didn't have, and you sacrificed the needs of your family, the needs of yourself, to do something to get you in a position to get what you have. That is how you measure someone's success. And I tend to agree with that in a lot of cases, because if a lot of people who didn't really put in any effort to get to certain levels, a lot of them are in danger of losing it, because when you don't work hard to get something, your level of appreciation is a lot of times not where it should be of what you have, if you have a lot of stuff. And sometimes it works against you. You know, if you ever fall into a position when you are in a position where on the outside it looks like it's successful, but if you didn't do anything to get there, because I'm trying to keep it to how this quote is wording success. So if you look successful by what you have, but you didn't do anything to get that success, and then a difficulty comes your way or an obstacle comes your way, you may lose it because you didn't do anything to get it. So you don't even know how to hold on to it. So therefore, the truth will come out as far as your level of success, because when you are successful and you work towards that success and you legitimately earned it, and you've legitimately earned it. Nobody gave it to you. You went out and earned every bit of success. I mean, earned everything you have, so that way your success reflects your true success, and that is how you earned it. So I think this quote is definitely true in today's world. If I could cite an example from what I know, now I don't know the ins and outs of people, celebrities who look successful and have successful, I mean, I don't know why I'm struggling today, it's because I'm tired. But let's just say, if you look at Tyler Perry, a lot of us know his story where he was homeless. I mean, he put everything on the line to do his plays, to be successful, to achieve his level of success. He overcame many obstacles, he talks about them all the time. It wasn't just given to him. He had to work for it, and he's still working for it. So to me, this quote is saying, if you look at somebody like Tyler Perry, he is very successful because he overcame, let me do the water first. He overcame several obstacles to get to where he is today and to possess what he possesses today. So he is someone who is considered successful according to this quote, and I definitely look at him as someone who is successful. However, I like to also add, when I'm looking and labeling someone as successful, I think successful also should mean that wherever you are in life and whatever you have in life, that you're happy as well. Because to me, if you're not happy with what you've achieved, regardless of how you got it, if you worked for it or if someone gave it to you, if you're not happy with what you have, then to me, that's not a success either, because success does not translate to stuff. And it doesn't always translate to winning every battle or overcoming every obstacle. People can still do that and be miserable and not happy. And to me, that's not successful if you can't figure out how to find a way to be happy in this life. Because it's such a short life when you really look at the big picture. And God wanted us to be fruitful and multiply. Just to sit here and be happy. Not to complicate things by trying to obtain things that really are things that really are going to make you unhappy. It's like if we can always focus at whatever level, we can always focus on things that have the truest value and strive to achieve those things, then to me, that is definitely success. Now, if you can obtain all the material things on top of that, and you've overcome the obstacles and you worked your way up to get all of that, then that's a true success to me, because you figured out what's truly important in life, and it's not all the things that most people think it is. So I guess the quote too is saying, it's kind of reinforcing what I just said, in the sense that success is measured by the obstacles that you had to go through to get there, because through those obstacles, you're going to figure out what's truly valuable and successful in life. And I guess it's kind of saying that's where you're going to learn those lessons of what is truly valuable and what is truly not. And that's where you're going to become more successful, because you're learning it as you go. So again, if you never had to work for anything and everything was just given to you and you have this fabulous lifestyle, you've missed a big part of what it is to become successful. And you may think you're successful, but if you've never gone anything, I think the way that life is because we go through so many ups and downs. That's how we become richer and wiser and well seasoned, if you will. You become well seasoned. You can look at life for what it's worth, and you can see the true value of things, and you can pull up to your fancy house, drive your fancy car, and know that that stuff doesn't mean anything at all when it comes to what's truly important. It's just stuff. So I guess that is true success. So it's kind of tying it in there. It's once you look at the obstacles that you had to go through to get there, you're gonna see all of that stuff. That this stuff, it's like, I'm going through all this just to own a house that now I gotta worry about somebody breaking into, or a car that somebody could run into, have an accident, total it out, hit and run, or a car I gotta keep paying for, keep getting repaired. It's like you learn all of this stuff as you go through life, that's not where the true value is. That's just more stuff to worry about. But it's a process. And so all of these little quotes and sayings are just guides for us as we go through our journey in life, to serve guides for us that serve as reminders of what is truly important in this life. And all of these quotes and things all kind of tie into the same thing. They're just guiding us through life. You know, when we're going through something, sometimes you're gonna run across some kind of quote or saying that's gonna hit the nail on the head of somebody going through something that really applies. But at the end of the day, all of these quotes basically are doing the same thing. Whatever you're going through right now, there's a quote out there to remind you and to let you know that this is just a small thing in the big scheme of things. And it might even be one of the big things in the big overall scheme of things, but it's definitely something that you're going to have to go through in order to learn something, in order to grow, in order to become more wise, and to be a well-rounded person that can get through this life in one piece and know that you're going to be okay no matter what you're going through. So now we're all always going to be tested. We're always going to be tested. You can call it what you want. Going through peaks and valleys, being tested, overcoming obstacles. Everybody, you live long enough, you're going to have to deal with something. That is the lesson, my friends. That is the lesson. How you deal with things is going to determine how successful you are when those things enter into your life. How you deal with them and how you allow them to affect you will determine your level of success when coming out of it. So if you let it overtake you, and if you let it defeat you and beat you down, and you learn nothing from it and you just keep repeating the same thing, definitely not successful. But you can make a mistake one time, get the lesson, and keep on moving, because guaranteed there's going to be another obstacle, another lesson, another something for you to go through waiting around the corner. And that's just how life works. It's never going to be all good all the time. And there are different levels of things that we go through, but just know this is how we're shaped and molded into being the people that we've become as we continue to live on in this life. And that includes a bad job, a bad relationship. It just includes any type of bad experience or even a good one. How you handle all those things is going to guide you along your path as you continue to journey on forward, or to move forward within your journey. So the more that you mature and grow and learn how to manage situations successfully, when they come up in the future, you can stay calm, you know what you need to do, and you can get through it. So in being successful with the obstacles, to me, that gets you to that point of being in a position to always handle whatever obstacles come your way. So having said that, success really doesn't have to have anything to do with what you have, but how you live. You can live a successful life or an unsuccessful life. An unsuccessful life to me would be someone who's never prepared for what is going to come their way. Now, you live long enough, you know you have to have money just to live, just to pay bills, you know, just mandatory things. You have to have a certain degree of money, so you have to be responsible with the money that you have. So if you live a life where every time something comes up, oh, my car broke down, can I borrow some money to get it fixed? There's no food in the house, can you loan me some money for groceries? To me, that's not living a successful life. And then come payday, you know, you out shopping, buying the latest things that you don't need, or going out to eat, or trying to impress somebody while your priorities are ignored. And then when your priorities that you ignored now come to the forefront, then you want to go and ask somebody to help bail you out when you are not responsible enough to handle your own situation that you know is going to come up every month. So that's not being successful. That's being irresponsible and immature. A lot of people do that. A lot of people know how life works and say, you know, I don't know what happened. There's always a way to handle things better. And you should always, especially when you run across obstacles like that, if you finally get in a position where you get out of it, you know, like let's say you ran into an obstacle for whatever reason, you didn't have the money to get yourself out of it, somebody helped you out of it, and then you get a big income tax refund and you go buy a big screen TV. You don't save anything. It's like you don't remember that time where you were just in a bind and somebody had to bail you out. You should not want to inconvenience somebody else with your problems when you're an adult. That's just not cool. When there's something that you could do to not be in that position in the forward, you should do it, you know, sacrifice a little and keep yourself in a position to where you're not a burden to other people, especially when you're grown. That's just not a good look. So if you're not living a successful life, you're not going to have a good result ever. There are sometimes you have to make a decision to say, you know what, I can't do this right now. Right now. That's okay. It doesn't mean forever. You got to get yourself. It takes time to be truly successful, because to be truly successful, you're gonna have to overcome obstacles. It's not just gonna happen overnight. And if you want to be in a position to be victorious, then sometimes you gotta be still and just chill out and be responsible and do what needs to be done until you're in a position to do what you want. Because tying it into the other, boy, I just went crazy on that one, didn't I? On the water. Tying it into the other topics we talked about. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I hate when that happens. I focused on how much water that I had just sprayed on this one, and it made me forget the point that I was trying to make. But maybe it'll come back to me, maybe not, because this is all off the cuff, you know, and I don't really think about it. I just pull the card out and read it, and I start jabbing. But yeah, it all kind of ties in. I believe what I was trying to say is just being responsible, living a good life, doing the right thing. You know, all those things will get you to a point of being successful in whatever right you want to be successful in. Again, success isn't always determined by how much stuff you have. That's the most false measure of success right there. The most false measure you can use to determine anybody's level of success, because anybody can get something temporarily and not hold on to it. Let me get some of this out of here. Okay, yeah, anybody could get something temporarily. That doesn't mean that you are successful by any stretch of the imagination. And youngsters get that confused because they look and see, oh, you know, their friends may have the latest this or the most fashionable that, and they look at this stuff and think, just like, you know, when they look at the celebrities like the rappers and the actors and actresses, a lot of them are not in a position yet to where the lifestyle that they're portraying is truly that lifestyle. And some of them are. The ones that are the ones that to me are more low-key and handle it better, not really out there in the front line advertising so much, or, you know, singing and rapping about it. Like, I don't know, it's just they seem so, I don't know, what word am I looking for? Like they're just flossing, fronting, just faking it. Just because the record company says this is what's selling, even though you're not living this, we're going to put this image out anyway so kids can look up to you and buy your records. I say before you worship anybody out there, just tell yourself nobody is worth being worshipped. Nobody. Nobody on this earth. And the only person you need to focus and put time into is yourself. You can admire and respect people if they're doing something good, but you know, don't look at somebody and give them so much credit like they're so great just because of an image that you see. Till you know the real deal, you know, don't give people too much credit for being something that they in most cases are not. So, anywho, that is pretty much all I'm going to say about that. It was pretty self-explanatory, but like I said, I was just forcing myself to do this tonight, and that's why I'm not even using a comb or a brush, because I was really contemplating not doing it, and I'll probably upload it tomorrow. It's Saturday night. Actually, it's probably early Sunday morning now. It's probably midnight Sunday morning, or if it's not midnight, it's a little after or right before it. But I didn't want to do anything too long tonight because I'm really kind of tired. Janae and I had a nice little eventful day, and I just don't feel like dealing with my hair. But you see here I am moisturizing it, so you see how quick that was. I'm all done, And it didn't take that long, and it didn't take that much. I wasn't trying to put too many products, or, you know, I didn't make it hard. I kept it simple and easy. However, my hair is still moisturized. And then the next time I do it, maybe I'll give it another full-on session where I comb through it and whatnot. But hopefully you guys are doing your hair with me, because that's really a big part of this, is so that you can sit down and see. It doesn't have to be too in-depth and too involved. You don't have to have all these utensils and all these products. Just a little spritz in your hands. And you know, if you do it regularly enough and get your hair used to it, then it will start to comply a lot better. It'll get used to, you know, the moisture will hopefully stay in longer because you're doing it more often. You'll be able to retain your levels of moisture in your hair, especially if you're wearing it out and doing it in different styles. So on that note, I'm going to end it here, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. But it was nice just talking to you, and just a simple spritz and water. Nothing serious and nothing too complicated. So you can do this. Just do it with me. Get into the routine. You don't even have to like what I'm saying. Just let me get you used to the habit of doing your hair. And tonight was the perfect example because I didn't want to do mine. And you see, it wasn't that long. I did it from start to finish. So I'm going to end the video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.